try to keep us sanity watching a bunch of movies. This video is going to be the tangent I went on in this video. So yeah, enjoy. Like, don't get me wrong, the action looks fucking brutal. I'm just worried about the story the action is placed in. Now, I know I sound like a person that watches porn for the plot, but in my experience, it doesn't matter if the action in the Wolverine project is awesome. If the story is bad, then the product is bad.
So he told Kikuatsu that the moon had asked for flowers.
I think Origins Wolverine could have been better. Obviously, it could have been better. They relied on the CGI claws way too much. You could tell by the sheer number of claw revealing shots. They nailed the bone claws and absolutely shat the fucking bed with the adamantium ones. Which is a perfect example of what I'm trying to say. Is that no matter how good something is, if something is really bad, then people tend to remember that. Their opinions are swayed by that. There's a lot of good dialogue in action. Making them brothers was a really cool idea. It doesn't really work for the continuity, but whatever. Also, Kevin Durant was fantastic in this movie. I think the biggest problem is that they speed run through all the good parts. I mean, Victor kills his wife and Logan drops the coolest line.
You point me in the right direction, you get the hell out of my way.
So you think the third act would start, but there's like 70 minutes left. Everybody said that they would prefer to watch the movie they showed in the beginning, you know, the war scenes, which would have been awesome, but there's not really much story there. To improve on what they already had, it would be to make everything off the blob just happen on the island. So he doesn't have to fight Gambit, but instead skips the stupid miscommunication thing. Then Gambit can like fight off any like defenses that I may have to allow Gambit to show off. And obviously, you know, don't make Weapon 11. Like, make the intent known, like they wanted to perform the surgery on Logan was to see if he would survive, but not be able to perform it on Weapon 11. So he has Wolverine's healing, but not the adamantium. And then just give him swords. I can't figure out why or how Logan and Victor would team up, but this does allow Cyclops' beams to remain force blasts instead of, you know, making them heat vision. They had to do that so his claws could heat up to allow him to decapitate him, which they did pay off in Wolverine, which I thought was cool. Talking about the Wolverine, what a fantastic movie with a terrible ending. But people only remember the terrible ending, so therefore the movie is bad. The opening shot is pure perfection. And the setup for the movie was brilliant. And let's not forget Hiroyuki Sanada. He elevates everything he's in. Yeah, some of the dialogue is very Suicide Squad-esque, but it's still good. And most of the dialogue was drawn out. She's a mutant that can see people's deaths. How difficult would it have been just to say that? There's no indication that she needed to hide who she was. She openly told him that they were going to die, which is her power. And by the end of this conversation, she alludes to being a mutant, but she still wouldn't say it.
We don't all have claws.
Also, everybody commented how crazy it was that he cursed in Logan, but people forget that he fucking cursed in this movie too.
Too many fucking wars. If I don't like what you say, you are going through that fucking window. Go fuck yourself, pretty boy.
Yeah, a lot of the movie was stupid. A lot of her scenes were stupid. I mean, I know men are weak, but she didn't even do anything to him. He just let her grab him. The love story part was a bit much. She knowingly had sex with her grandfather's friend. He's reminiscing about Jean Grey and regretting having killed her. And then he falls in love with a different woman that we never see again. It doesn't really amount to anything. It just took up screen time. Fucking Silver Tongue or whatever the fuck her name was. In Silver Samurai, Logan would have 2 nickels. Anyway, Silver Tongue didn't even have as much screen time as this unnecessary love story. And her quote-unquote death was pivotal to the plot of the Origins. So, but a lot of it was good. The trope of the main character losing their powers in the sequel was really well executed. It is a trope, and therefore what I'm about to say is cliche, but seeing him having to adjust to not having his healing and being in situations he's not used to was fun. It was so dumb how they did it and why she did it, because if he died, then they fucked. Unless it was like siphoning life from him. So every time he should have healed, it stored it, and if he died, then it would have transferred whatever life was stored. But they didn't say that, and they didn't show that, so I'm just pulling shit out of my ass. But anyway, the movie had great action, and the villain's motivations were pretty solid. But the execution of that concept was found lacking and felt kind of rushed. But that's why Logan worked out so well. There was no love story subplot. There was just a well-written, well-executed movie. The action took a sideline to the story writing aspect. Like, don't get me wrong, the action was great, but it didn't feel like they orchestrated previous scenes to justify action set pieces. And this dude's physique is fucking insane. And that was the tangent, so yeah, fuck off. Yeah, so I was trying something new there. I hope you liked it. Just like lazily putting together the video. I want to be able to go on longer tangents, you know, for my namesake, because I tend to go on longer tangents. But I just can't edit the video that long. That's why all my videos are so short. They take me like 7 hours to make like a 4-minute video. So I was thinking maybe if I will go on longer tangents, so like I'll edit the video normally. And if I'm just going off on a fucking, you know, because I want to be able to make half-an-hour videos. That would be fun. They just talk out of my ass for like a good solid 20 minutes. So I was thinking I can do that. I don't know. Tell me if you liked it. If you didn't like it, then you can go fuck yourself, I guess, you know. But anyways, fuck off. What the fuck are you still doing here?
And just remember, no one will ever be able to hate you more than you already hate yourself.